Welcome to the Strike Traders YouTube channel. A lot of people in the industry know you as AKA the party shirt trader, and very much clear so because of the shirt that you're wearing, right?
Yeah.
But today I want to dive a little into where you have come from, how you have come this far, and because the first thing when I noticed you on X, right, was when you were catching those swings and when you were, what do you say? You were talking with other people on X saying that, I have come through a very, very bad phase and this firm
Mm.
XYZ really helped me to get on my feet. I was down and out and stuff like that. Now
Yeah.
that really made me curious if you are a full-time trader, and if yes, what is exactly your story? How down and out you were before you actually are able to afford a place in Bangkok away from your home and you're
Mm.
staying here for the last 6, 7 months. That speaks something about yourself, right?
Yeah.
So where exactly did you start from? I mean, if you can give us a little about what you studied about in your college days, and then how you eventually got into trading. How did you get into this profession at all?
So I've I've been trading for years, like 7 years, right?
Okay.
But some people have known me since the beginning, you know?
Okay.
So people that have seen me recently that they just think I've been around for maybe a year or so, but no, I've been around a long time. So the OGs probably recognize me, but there's not many of them around now because typically with trading, people don't really last that long.
Yeah.
But I got into trading like 2016, 2017,
Mm.
and I got into it just because when I was traveling, I
Okay.
Googled how to make money online.
Yeah.
Not through any marketing, not through like seeing stuff on Instagram. I just Googled how to make money and I looked at what methods there were. And then every day whilst I was traveling, I'd put 45 minutes to an hour aside every day just to study. And that was just baby pips and just watching charts. Like I didn't learn from anyone. I just taught myself, you know.
Mm. And where are you originally from, Ash, if you may say?
From the UK.
Okay, you're from the UK. And what exactly was your educational background? What really pushed you to get towards trading? Because it's a weird profession, right? If you have a job, you would never choose or opt for trading.
So I was working in car sales. I always worked in sales. I worked in medical sales as well at the time. But yeah,
Okay.
I just didn't like the job, so I just looked up how to make money
Okay.
online, and that was it. I only did it because I wanted to travel and earn an income.
And where did you get
And
started from? Which markets?
I started in things like gold and pound Aussie D.
So you directly
Uh,
started from Forex itself?
Pardon?
You directly started from Forex itself, or was it the UK markets?
Yeah, Forex, yeah.
Okay, you directly started
So
from.
I was like when I first started to trade, I was just trading my own money, and then it got to a point where I lost a fair bit of I made money, but then it went down very quickly. So I just pulled my money out and continued traveling. And I said, I'll just come back to it later.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays people just like trade props, like especially on social media. I think they don't realize like there was a time people just traded real money.
Hmm.
And I just leverage props because the ROI is much better.
Hmm.
Probably this year I'll start trading personal again. uh, um, just because I don't have to worry about getting paid. I just push the withdrawal button and it's in my bank in like minutes, you know.
Okay. Got
But
it.
in terms of education, like just I went to university, studied like sports stuff, sports,
Hmm.
physical activity and health. Um, and realistically, the benefit of university just teaches you how to learn. But I feel like you don't need to come from that kind of background to get into trading. You just need to have a willingness to learn, but not just learn, but like learn how to unlearn.
Hmm.
I.e., most people have really bad habits and they don't know how to unlearn them. And no matter how much money they lose, they're still not learning, you know? So some people are just destined to never make it because their ego is too much at the helm. And not until you just stop thinking you're the best and just start accepting that I need to change. Once you start to accept that, most people make it, you know?
I
And
agree.
that's
I
just,
agree. And talking about, you know, not being a conventional career, you have been in this industry for the last 7 years. That means that you have seen the COVID, you have seen, you know, the
Mm.
rise of prop firms. You were there
Hmm.
even before there were prop firms and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And right now you're leveraging prop firms to make money. Okay.
Hmm.
But if I talk about the initial capital on how you started your journey, did you put in your savings? Did you put in your life money to actually get started? And how did that turn out to be?
So yeah, no, but I had a lot of money in savings. So, but I put £10,000 into a personal account. But it
Yeah.
wasn't all my life savings. It was just a bit of it, and I ran that up to like 25K, and then it went down to like 4K. So I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore because it was too much pressure. I want to enjoy traveling, you know. I don't want to be focusing on looking at charts all day. So I just stopped for a bit, came back after like I think maybe 6 months to a year, something
Hmm.
along like you know, just time heals all wounds. So I was like, I'll just come back to it later. You know, I
Hmm.
feel like some people they just when they keep on thinking, oh, this time will be different, this time will be different. But really, you need to reset. You know, you don't. You know, if you're trying to change your trading style, so that i.e. go from a swing trader to a scalper or scalper to a swing trader, it's a different type of trading. So
Hmm.
if you try and just pivot, you're not going to be able to because you're coming from a different environment and a different way of thinking. By having time off, it allows the mind to just kind of recalibrate. So yeah, just trade. If you can trade personal, trade personal. You know, but the benefit of props is that it stops you from like losing too much money too quick. And then I feel like once you get the hang of it, because I know people that can trade personal, but they can't trade props, and people that trade props that can't trade personal because it's a different style of trading.
Yeah, true.
But ultimately, when you're trading props, you just want to just you have two approaches. You can scale, like I'm looking to just scale. So I'm trying like keep risk at bay. You know, I like use like a flexi risk, but I feel like my goal is to just acquire loads of capital so I can just strive for 3-4% and then be done. Because when you do that at scale, you're laughing. So instead of trying to really leverage an account, like I currently like leverage accounts, but the goal is just to accumulate because the more you accumulate, the less pressure, the less stress. And it's all about keeping stress down because there's times where your edge works really well, i.e. like my edge is working really well right now, and there's times where it doesn't, so it's about being able to withstand those times when your edge isn't as potent.
And when did you actually started trading prop? What was your first prop firm? How did you get to know about prop firms?
So I think my first prop was in 2018 or 2019. It was FTMO. I
Okay.
just Googled investors in trading because I said, I was thinking I have enough money to trade, but I don't have enough money to trade and live. So I need to find a way to have more capital allocation. And I just Googled it. I just Googled how investors trading and FTMO came up, and I was like, all right. So that's probably one of the first funded and paid traders from FTMO. I don't know if I got paid. Maybe I did. But I was definitely one of their first funded traders. Same as some firms like E8, who are massive now. I was one of their first ever funded and paid traders.
Okay.
So
And
I'm
what
always
was
on
your
the
first
hunt for.
payout?
Gone.
What was your first payout?
What was it? Oh, I can't remember now. It's too long ago. So long ago. I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, it
But
was probably like 5-10,000 now.
yeah, really? Because it really is a milestone for a lot of people, right? Because I made money from props, they
Mm.
glorified everywhere. So I thought you must be remembering what was your first payout from the prop firms. It's funny that you don't remember. How
Nah, nah, it's so long ago.
how big of a part is trading in your life, Ash? Is it, does that really, so let me reframe the question. Is
Hmm.
trading really something that matters a lot to you, or is it a mean to get what you love doing, like traveling, having fun time? How is it?
Mm. I know, like there's plenty of vehicles to generate an income, right? For me, I like trade. For me, trading is like an art, so I feel like I'm an artist. So, and I'm passionate about what I do because it's like you won't see on my page. I do. funny stuff, but I will never do funny stuff about trading because I take trading very serious. It's a and I feel like people lack that understanding of what trading is because they wonder why they feel pain, they wonder why they're upset, they wonder why. But when you look at the content they interact with, it's all about the negative side of trading. With these comedy skits, like they take the they lean into the fact that losing money is normal, and the art of trading is losing money, but efficiently. But they lean into content and like, oh, these guys are all losing money as well. Like, look at all the engagement on this. Like, oh, it's not just me. And then it's like this weird acceptance that they'll never make it, or there's only certain people, or oh, that's very suspicious. Why is this one guy seems to be doing so well, and everyone else seems to be struggling, or vice versa.
Mm,
It's the thing is with social media, it's a very potent tool,
mm,
and it's important to understand, like with the content that I like to put out, it's all educational based, but
mm,
that's not the stuff that people like. When
mm.
you look at my most popular videos or content, it's about talking about the profit shares or the money, and like, yeah, that's great, but the stuff that tells you the real secret sauce gets not much engagement. And so sometimes I'm like, is it worth me? I might as well just talk about money
Mm.
because it's just what people like.
So
And
you're
people say,
saying,
oh, do more content about trading. I'm like, brother, all I talk about is trading.
yeah, it's true. So you're saying people subconsciously accept that, losing in trading is fine.
Well, they just follow the wrong people.
Yeah, they follow the wrong people. True.
You remember, you can control your content. I very much control what I put through my eyeballs.
Hmm.
And I see some people, they get really huge engagement, and they're not even like making money from trading, you
Hmm.
know? And like, you can make money from trading props, and you can make money trading from personal. It's better to trade a personal because you really master an edge, and then you can sell that data further down the line. But the benefit of props, it's a different style of trading, but it leans more into the over leveraging, higher risk tolerance style of trading. I try and I've used like a flexi risk. So sometimes I risk 0.5%, sometimes I'll reach the 2% marker, but it depends on what I'm doing as well. Like
Hmm.
if I'm scalping, like I don't really like to push it past 0.5%. If I'm
Hmm.
in more of like a swing style position, I'll give the trade up to 2% movement because I'm trying to get the real big rally or really big moves in the market.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I know that if it's not going to happen,
Hmm.
I'll just get out early.
Yeah. But Ash, moving forward, before we move forward towards your trading style and stuff, I really want
Hmm.
to, get a little deep into uh, understanding. Were you always well off and you
No.
into trading and you made money, or you got to a point in life in trading where you really had to question, you had to reanalyze and think, okay, Ash, this is not working. I have to make some changes. Either I have to find a new career or I have to make some tough decisions in order to move ahead. When was this period that came into your life? Because you have been trading for 7 years, which means that's close to a decade, right? So you have a
Mm,
lot of experience. All 7 years can't be flying high, right?
yeah.
Where did you actually feel like, okay, fuck it, I cannot. It's getting really tough on my mind.
Hmm.
And how did you actually deal with trading then? Because a lot of people get into desperation then, right? They want to make it better quickly, and they
Mm,
end up losing it all.
yeah.
What was that time for you?
Well, my biggest advice on that front would be the slowest way is the quickest way
Hmm.
before anything else. But I think, when I first got into like funded and trading in 2018,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think it was 2019. Essentially, I was living in Vietnam. I was traveling the world, and I just got funded, and I was like, holy smokes! I'm about to make money on the internet.
Hmm.
And then COVID happened,
Hmm.
and once COVID happened, the spreads and things on like gold just became untradeable, so I had to pivot to different markets.
Hmm.
So that was pretty hard moment, and I had to fly back to the UK because I couldn't make it sustainable,
Hmm.
and that was pretty rubbish. But I was like, no, I can, I've done this, like I can do it again.
Hmm.
So I was working in like a COVID center, started trading with the funded trader just when they were like small,
Yeah.
and then I started to do like really well. I was like, holy smokes, like I can do this.
Hmm.
And then just started making crazy, like crazy money.
Hmm.
And then I put things in like crypto,
Hmm.
and that was going wild as well. And I was like, oh, like I'm, I'm him. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a surreal experience in the sense that, I was working in a COVID center, making pennies on the dollar, to
Yeah.
then making, you know, ungodly sums of money
Hmm.
like every other day, or even if I lost, you know, mid five figures, I'd be like,
Hmm.
I'll come back next week. Don't worry about it. You know, I had one account I ran up trading. It's like a 400K account. I had like 40, 50K sit floating, like closed, just ready to request. And because I was like, I'll keep trading it. I'll do
Okay.
better. I need to be known. And then I lost it. But it's like, okay, cool. I'll just come back next week. So like I was kind of unfazed about, losing stuff because I knew more stuff was coming further down the line. And then a lot of my money was in like Luna, FTX.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when that went down,
Yeah.
I lost all that kind of uh, capital. So that was like really a lot of pressure. Like mentally, it was really hard.
Hmm.
And I was trading with True Forex funds. They went down. So I was like, oh, the firm that I use
Yeah.
is now gone. And I just couldn't get out the kind of pivot point of like losing that much money, as well as that pressure on me. I couldn't trade with the right mindset, so
This is
I was just
this is
trading
back
like an
in
idiot.
2023, if I'm not wrong.
Probably, yeah. So,
Yeah.
around that, yeah.
Hmm.
And so yeah, then I had to just put my tail between my legs, go back home, and start again, so to speak. But you go from living a lifestyle of money didn't really matter, and you're scaling, and you think like I'm at the beginning of the scaling bit, but it's already like
Hmm.
crazy numbers.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, cool. And when I had to fly back home, it took me like a year to find a job. When I
Okay.
finally got a job, it was doing like delivery driver type stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Making five figures to going to a delivery driver, how does that affect you mentally? It's
oh, bro,
unacceptable to some people, at
I
least.
lost I lost like high six figures. Uh,
Okay.
it wasn't small money I lost. I'm saying in a trade, I'd lose like five figures, but like I'm saying like I lost a lot of money overnight.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't be bothered about five figures, but when I was had nothing to having like hundreds of thousands of dollars like liquidated,
Hmm.
mentally I
Yeah.
had everything,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
but it's one of them. I had to just keep moving forward, right? So it's hard to stomach, doing a delivery driver job because you were operating on such a level, but people around you were operating on such a level, and then all of a sudden you've had to like come back down to a different level.
Hmm.
And when you're trying to explain, like, I've done things, people are like, yeah, but you're here now. They have this that kind of mindset, like, well, that's who you were then. Like, you can't, you're with us now. You'll never be that kind of level again. I'm like, no, no, it's time. Time is my friend. Time isn't your friend, but he's my best pal. So I'll get
Okay.
there again.
Got it. But Ash, going from that to a delivery driver and coming again here tomorrow, uh, it's a long journey, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of people, because I'm 23, I'm
Hmm.
almost 12 years younger to you. Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of people of my age make money and they want to make money very very quickly, right? Because they feel
Hmm.
that they have the best opportunity of the lifetime, that is prop firms, and they're going to make money out of it. And this
Hmm.
desperation, definitely, this desperation and the thrill and the
Hmm.
pace kills a lot of
Yep.
people. Patience is something that we do not really have. Trust me, because
Hmm.
everybody wants to make money really, really quick by
Hmm.
looking at people on the internet, such as yourselves, but they don't know the
Hmm.
backstory. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell the young guys who are trying to make it in trading and they feel that they are losing out on time, 23, 24, and they're losing out on time from
Hmm.
someone who's 35, who's made it in life and who has lost it and then again made it back? What is your advice to young people like me?
Stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Mm,
it's just you. You are the problem. Yeah, until you accept that,
mm,
you're always going to struggle. And the
mm,
more, like I said, I've been there. Like I was earning good money, and the more I pushed it, I wasn't ready for the next level because I didn't have the right foundations. So it's about having the foundations in place and not letting your ego get in
mm,
control. But I'll tell people like stop being an idiot, and they'll
mm,
continue being an idiot. 6 months later, like, oh Ash, I'm still struggling. I'm like, well, what have you changed?
mm,
Oh, change this strategy and that strategy. Is like, well, why are you still in the same boat then? Is it the strategy or is it you?
mm,
And sometimes people just they feel uncomfortable
mm,
because I'm trying to help them, but trying to help people is uncomfortable because I've got to tell them you're currently not where you need to be because you're being an idiot. Whether that's risk, whether that's uh, how they enter and trade the market.
mm.
There's a time to be aggressive and there's time to be just sit, wait, or enter in small and scale in as the trade starts to go your way. Because sometimes when I struggle with my edge, it's when the market kind of chops. Like I'm not really a range bound trader. I'm more of a breakout
Yeah.
and trend
That's trend
trader.
trade.
You know,
Yeah,
and it's
trend
about
trade.
understanding when your edge is working best or when it's best to just call it a day. And I think
Mm,
some people they let the revenge trading like demon because they're always talking like greed and revenge. They're always in your ears, and it's about being aware of when those emotions are talking. And if they are talking, you just got to size down. Just size down. No one's, when you see all these people making money online, especially in the futures space,
mm.
you're looking at the 0.0001% of people, you know,
Very
and
true.
so it's gonna look like
Yeah.
crazy.
I agree. And now that we understand where you have come from and what are your advices, I want to get into, what really is your prop math. How much do you spend every month on buying challenges? Number one.
Hmm.
And what is your current ROI? So let us say you put $1. For every dollar, how much are you making at this point of time?
I don't know. I don't really spend that much, to be honest.
Yeah. So in
No,
in
like,
CFDs, you're
I
spending a
mean,
very
so like, I don't know. Like, I'll get an account and I'll run it up for like months. So like, I won't go. I'm not these type of people that buy loads of accounts.
okay.
So I think maybe like say last year, probably spent about maybe 6K, and then
The
generated
entire
just close.
year.
Yeah, yeah.
And how much
I
did
don't,
you?
I don't, I don't know. I made like close to 100K. Pretty much 100K.
Wow. So you put in 5K and you made 100K last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what is the risk parameter that you use in your evaluations comparison to fund it?
I don't really like risking that much in general. Like I'll push it to 2%. Like rarely. I don't really like doing it, but I'll do it. But I usually
Hmm.
keep my risk around 0.5%. If I'm trading a 200K account, it's usually 0.5%.
Wow. So you risk 0.5% on your evaluation and challenge. I mean, evaluation and
Yeah.
funded both.
Yeah, but I catch big moves, so like why I don't need to risk anymore.
Okay.
The
So
thing is,
your
the more risk
entire
you, pardon?
so your entire edge lies in catching those big moves in indexes. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, like if I have to, if the like sometimes I'll risk 2%, but I don't want to risk 2%. If the firm says you can't risk any more than 1%, 2%, I'll stay within that parameter. That's okay.
Hmm.
But you know, for now, like it's like this week I made 7% secured, 11, 12% floating with 0.5%. You know.
Okay. Wow, that's great. And what is your opinion about futures, Ash? So many people are doing it, so many people are getting into it. Do you think it's a good move for you if you want to get into futures?
Mm. I mean, it's different. It's different
Mm.
in the sense that you can't hold trades overnight.
Yeah.
Your drawdown metrics are way different. So it's about navigating when you have a losing period.
Mm.
And I feel like the way that it's marketed is it's like a churning
Yeah.
style, and it's just not really good habits to be developing.
Mm.
Um, I mean, if you try and it's slower is always better. So you see some people like I see some people like they buy an account and 2 days later or 3 days later they're funded and they're withdrawing. I'm like, yo, how? Like how? Like I spend time doing challenges. Like I spend time. I don't know how people can like just risk that much. Like for me, I just respect money a little bit. I feel like
Mm.
some of these people that when you have a big bankroll, you can get away with doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
they might come from money or they might have like yeah, I don't know, like a Discord or they're making money through other means, and they can then have that peace of mind knowing that even if I fuck up all this trading, can I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I swear?
Yeah, you can, you
Okay,
can.
so even if I mess up all this trading, I have the peace of mind that there's an income coming from either my Discord, my coaching, my affiliates, and it allows you to be more aggressive because the pressure isn't there for trading as like a sole income. At the end of the day, um, there's different edges with prop trading. There's different edges
Mm.
with personal. There's a certain edge. You need to have a profitable edge. With prop trading, you can have a profitable edge, or you can like have a churning edge. And there's a few people that I know that do that, and they're very efficient at it. But
Mm.
mentally, it's very you have to build a lot of tolerance because your outgoings will be extreme, but your income will be extreme as well. So it's
It's a high
and it's
pressure.
it's a high risk. It's a high pressure, high risk environment, and it's really really not for everyone. You know.
Yeah. And now that you have talked about income streams, what else are you would you want to navigate in? Because this is a very unstable field, right? You have a bad losing streak for 6 months and you again get
Mm,
that mental pressure. What are you doing to make sure that, okay, the next 5 years, now that I'm making money from trading, I want to secure it in a way through
hmm
which I don't get that much of mental pressure. Because I believe you're not selling any mentorships, you don't have any
mm.
discords and stuff. What else do you think you're doing, to make it a little easy for you?
I mean, I have algos that trade for me as well, so they
Oh,
they make
really?
me money. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And these are
So
solely developed by you?
I have a partner. Yeah, yeah. So you know,
Wow.
they
Okay.
they do all right. It's not on at the moment because it trades gold, and gold's just moving a bit too wild. So I just turned it off. It's not worth the mental, it's because it can lose money if it gets to a certain like equity. So uh, it's not worth turning it on just for it to just constantly be at that. So I'm waiting for whether it's come. Like I should turn it on now really because it's not doing. It's when it's expanding, it can handle like $100 move, like
Hmm.
$100 like price value,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it can't really handle 150. So I've had to turn it off because it's doing like 150 moves and like $200 moves in like a day. It's not really designed for that. Um, And I mean, prop firms reach out to me, say, "Hey, would you mind doing some stuff for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And there's always a kickback from that with the like affiliates and whatnot,
Hmm.
and as well, like I have like a good influence in the sense that a lot of big people talk to me and I talk to them and I try and help them and through means like so I haven't got like a huge following, so to speak. But no, it doesn't phase me in the sense that I just know that when I talk to people, I talk to many, 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 many people, and I try and build like a connection with a lot of people.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a value game, right? If I'll talk to people, if there's some value to be gained for both ends of the party. But when people are just like, "Yo, bro,"
Yeah.
no, you're not getting an answer from me. You're not getting anything.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, like the reason why I'm able to have such good connections is because
Yeah.
I offer value
Hmm.
in return, whether that's through education, content, wisdom, just in general. And I feel like people get so obsessed with trying to make money, they don't realize just by being you and being just good, good things will happen.
You
So
can get a lot of value as well. True.
yeah, and there's no like people try and shit on 9 to 5 work. At the end of the day, without 9 to 5s, you wouldn't be able to be doing what you're doing.
Very true. Very true.
And I feel you should have some sort of other income coming in, like I say, through um, like it could be anything. You could just learn coding. You can do like sometimes it's nice to just not always be trading, So
Yeah.
yeah, for me,
I
like
agree.
I have enough like bankroll to like relax. Like I don't have to put so much pressure on it, and I don't buy a lot of challenges and whatnot. Sometimes like I'll go through a period where I'm like, I'll go a bit crazy. But I think that was when I was sick. When I was sick, I was just not thinking properly and just trading like a bit of an idiot. So decision making was a bit poor. So moving forward, like if I get sick,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to trade. Or if I do, it'll be challenge accounts or something. I'm not trading anything like if it's like live or personal. I'm just like not touching it because it's not worth losing
Yeah.
money over.
Yeah. And what's your plan going ahead, Ash? You have been here in Bangkok for almost 6 to 7 months now. Do you
hmm
plan on returning to the UK or do you plan on traveling the world? What are you looking in 2026 for?
I've got a 5 year visa here, so I'm not planning on going back.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
you're completely going to settle down in Bangkok here?
Yeah, man. The UK is not the country it used to be, unfortunately. And so there's other ways of living. I mean, like if you look at the view behind me, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is my daily view, man. Like every
Yeah.
day.
Hmm.
And once you start to really respect what trading can do, you can be nomadic. You can, let's say you've always wanted to live in the Caribbean or somewhere tropical. Like the thing is, living in the tropics is great, but it's a bit challenging. Like you only find that out by doing it. Um, but if you want to be at home, if you want to stay in the UK, no qualms. Like, but you just don't want that pressure of working a 9 to 5.
True. I
Cool.
agree.
At the end of the day, everyone wants to live their lives. So I'm just showing people how I live my life, and this is the life that I want. And I've done that through the vehicle of trading. So the more you respect trading and respect yourself, i.e., when you're trading like an idiot, you need to take a step back and be like, why do I hate myself? Why am I doing it? Because I'm the only person doing it. There's no one
Yeah.
telling me to push that buy and sell button. No one's telling me to put that kind of sizing on, and you know when you're trading like an idiot because you get the feeling. And sometimes it's about registering when that feeling's happening and just walking away. And that's the hardest bit, walking away. All the things that are really, really hard, the small things are the things that will change the game. You know,
True. True.
People can't do it, and that's cool. Like, no bother. At the end of the day, that's their life, and they can live how they want to live. But I know if
Essentially, it
I'm
all
gonna
comes
really,
down to the person doing it, and if they don't want to do better for themselves, they can stay the same. Yeah.
yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's just you. You know, there's no one else. You have to be your own hero. No one's, no one's gonna save you. And it sounds very stereotypical, like you have to save yourself. You do.
Yeah.
And you can't just look up to people and saying, and there's this motivate, I don't know what it's called. Like when people just watch motivational stuff and think, oh, my life's going to change. I'm like, it's not, because you haven't done anything. You're doing things that are going to make it happen. I.e., are you looking after your health, like going to the gym, eating healthy? Are
Yeah.
you reviewing your trades, your good ones and your bad ones? Are you looking to refine? And if you are, good, but look to always forward test because when you're back testing, because people are like, oh, my back testing works so well. I'm like, yeah, but you're not sitting through those trades. You're not having to sit through it. And there's difference. Like I'll sit in a trade for like 8 hours, 20 hours. I can be up 2% and then it goes in drawdown, from that 2% factor. Some people, they're like, nah, like just take profit. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's your edge. That's how you like to trade. But I will let that 2% go into 0.5% drawdown to then 6%, because I'm willing to just let the idea play. Or sometimes I'm just out and about. I can't manage it.
Yeah. Got
You
it.
know, I'm busy enjoying life. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. So again, from what I understand and how you trade is it's quite chill, but at the same time you got to follow your rules in order to make your pay, right?
Mm,
As simple as
yeah.
that. You don't need to be too serious, but at the same time you don't need to be an idiot. Just be yourself, make money,
Mm,
and live the
yeah.
way you want to live your life. That's cool.
And
That's
yeah,
cool. Thank you so much, Ash, for sharing
that's all
so
right.
much value. Yeah, because I think it's time and about that people know about you. 7 years of
Mm,
experience, 35 years of age, lots of experience you have seen in life, lots of ups and downs you have
mm,
seen in life. That's why you are able to make whatever you're able to make today from the toughest profession in the world, the not 1%, right?
yeah, for sure.
So thank you so much for sharing. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure hosting you. And I forgot what they say in Bangkok for this. Sawadika.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. And I'll see you again. Can't wait for
See you, bro.
people to see this. Yeah.